Welcome to Nobby on Cars. The Toyota RAV4, it's a car that Ireland has had an obsession with since it came out. Toyota salesperson once told me, when you bring yours to trade it in, to probably get another one, there's already a load of numbers in his diary that needs to ring to offer your used RAV4 for sale. It probably hasn't even been washed and vacuumed, but someone wants to come down and put a deposit on it. So there's just something about them. This is the newest generation of the car, which you're going to have a look around in this video. If you haven't hit subscribe yet, please do. Thanks to the over 2,000 of you now who have done it. Not even doing these videos a year, but 2,000 of you, over 2,000 have subscribed. If you have and you haven't hit the bell button yet to get a notification when we do video, please do. And obviously if you're subscribing for the first time right now, please do hit it. It's just down the bottom of the screen there, and hit the notification. When we do a new video, you get to see it first. So we're going to take a look around this car. First thing about it is there's lines everywhere. It's a much braver design, especially for Toyota. So directly side on, you can really see it very obviously there that it's a much longer looking car, and again, edges everywhere. What do you think of the edges? Let me know. If you ran into these lights at the back in any sort of speed, you'd probably hurt yourself. They are sharp. And then across the back, like, it's just lines, angles. You got contrast in black, because this is a sport model, on the bumpers. You get twin exhausts as well, and it's just much more aggressive and sort of futuristic looking across the whole rear. So you get a hybrid badge here to tell everyone you're saving the planet. This optional extra is just worth it every time. Electric boot, up it goes. Not the fastest in the world, but it's okay. There's a luggage cover here, retractable, removable. Stick it under here, somewhere to hide it. Don't need to leave it in the house. All that stuff, storagey bits in here, and it's grand. There is a space-saving wheel in the back with a jack, which is sound of them. Also offers as a pretty good shelter in the rain, which, even though it's June in Ireland, it's kind of surprising that for once it's actually a little bit of blue in the sky and it's actually not raining. Anyway, close that, and that's job done. It knows if you or a little person is standing in the way, and it'll stop, I think. It'll definitely know if it's your head, maybe not your arm. If this was in your rear view mirror on the M50, I mean this big giant grille, you'd probably be more inclined to move the hell out of the way. Not quite sure what's going on, still not raining yet, so let's keep rolling with this video. Now, the boot. The bit that lots of you watching this for families certainly are going to be wondering, well, what is it like? There's no real shopping hooks going on, right? So you've got a removable booty thing, although, yeah, you can drop that down a bit, so you can make the boot a little bit deeper if you want. That's fine. There's a light, but like, they're not LED lights. The same with the interior of the car. Don't really get that. There is a removable boot cover. How removable is it? Oh yeah, that's very removable. It's easy actually. I only have to unclip one of the bits, and that can, I think, fit underneath the boot cover. So if you've come this far with me in the video, I suppose I should show you how easy that is, then wouldn't it? Would be the, okay, all right, okay. So, pop around here, opens. 60-40 kind of vibe. That one's pretty much flat. Go all around here. Very easy. That was very quick actually. And then if you do that, you get all this space. Come have a look. Yeah, it's pretty big, all right. Just a plastic bag. Forget about that. Good space. Nearly fully flat, and very practical. And it's as easy to fold them up as this. So if you come this far in the video, you're obviously interested in the new RAV4. What's it like for family, space, fuel economy, practicality, gadgets. I'm going to look at all that in this video, so hit subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so yet, and I would really appreciate it, as always. But thank you for the over 2,000 of you who have. You've made my weekend. Now let's take a little look at the inside of this RAV4 and see what it's all about. So, it's all good in here. It's dark, it's black, it's leathery, good quality plastics. That's kind of the first impressions when you jump inside this new model. If you buy a Toyota at the moment, there's no Apple CarPlay, there's no Android Auto. So you're going to be relying on one of these bad boys, which is USB normal ports, inputs, outputs, to control your phone and stream. Now you can Bluetooth stream, but you just, for more of the functionality, you might want to plug in your phone, and you can obviously charge it. So you get this floating tablet. It's easy to use because there's a home button and it brings you home, and there's a menu button that can change all kinds of things for you, and there's a bit of swiping in it. You can set up your audio, and there's maps. Again, they don't look like the most sophisticated of maps, but everything in it works, you know? So it's not fancy, but it has buttons. You're not trying to drive and control things behind a screen. You can easily do that, easily control your temperature and turn on and off your aircon. It's dual, by the way. You've got a couple of heated seat options here. There's a really clever thing just right here beside the gear stick that can hold a couple of euros. So if you're coming up to a toll bridge or stuff, if you don't have one of those tags, it's there. Eco, Normal, Sport here. The amount of storage in this car. So you have an auxiliary and a USB up here, and then you've got a 12 volt old style, and then you lift your armrest and like you could actually put a little small dog in there. There's two further charging USBs in here. There's another removable shelf area, so you can have that halfway up the kind of space. You can hide stuff in there. That's really comfortable, it's really wide, and there's more USB ports, two more around here. So you get 1, 3, there's 5 in total in this car. So that's going to keep everybody happy. Also, these little control knobby bits are kind of knobby bits, they're rubber, and they just kind of, it's different, you know. Same with the grab handles and the door handles, they're kind of rubber, durable I suppose is what it feels like, and it's good. It's all, you know, it's plasticky, it's black, it's not fancy, but it's solid, and it's well made, and it's soft, and it's stitched nicely, and textures are good. Screen displays is perfect for what you need, you know. So it's not exciting, but very functional. This is the sport model, so again there's extras like an electric seat on this side, but if you get electric seats in your car, you'd think they'd give you one in the front passenger as well. That'd be a no. Oh yeah, there's paddles behind the steering wheel here, right? Just standard, minus, plus, what you get these days with automatics. But there's no, I'll tell you what, wait till later in the video, I'll explain. But they are a waste of time. Let's jump at the back and take a look around. Now, my father-in-law has driven Yaris's for many years, so I have experience of trying to put child seats in the back of a Yaris with eyes fixed. Not always the easiest because the little bars are quite hard to find. Not on the new RAV4. This is quite a heavy, bulky seat. Let me just demonstrate how quickly and easy it is for you to connect. Done. Your child seat. And there's nothing more stressful than lifting heavy seats. People you're trying to figure out, have they ran outside the house or not? So if you are, for whatever reason, swapping seats between cars or whatever, because these things are bloody expensive, it is very easy to get the seat into the back of a RAV4, which is good. Nice one, Toyota. You've obviously paid attention to the fact that it's quite difficult in a Yaris. Let me jump in the back, and straight away you will notice just how big it all is in here. Those rubber textury things are on the back seats as well, and it's good. This is very good. Leg room, tons. That seat's reasonably far back. Headroom, also tons. Seats wide enough. I had child seats on this side and this side, and I still reckon you could fit a kind of average sized human in the middle of the two of them. Now, in the middle, there is a smaller transmission tunnel bit of flooring, which means the person sitting in the middle isn't trying to necessarily put their feet either side. Mentioned earlier on, but there's two USBs for charging back here. There is an armrest. Doesn't open out or anything in terms of cuppy spaces, but there is room for 2 cups. That's fine. Can't get into the back. Does anybody actually use those skiing things in cars? Could you comment below actually if you've ever used them? Because especially in Ireland, and if you're watching the UK, are you really going to be bringing... Okay, you might bring your car skiing, maybe, if it's like as far as France. But apart from that, would you really bother your arse? I don't think you would. But there is an armrest, so that's good. A couple of cup holders, couple of coat holders there, and that's grand. There's something on the back of this seat for keeping things, but not here. Don't know why. Good job. Those of you watching with small kids, yes, there's a child lock here. I would like to see them on the buttons inside of the door panel. Some manufacturers are doing that now, and it just gives you overall control of kids because they know how to push buttons, not just yours, the ones on doors as well. 2.5 petrol, 218 or 220-ish brake horsepower, depending on whether you go for 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive. Aura, Luna, Sol, Sport, Platinum. Platinum hasn't been announced yet. Aura one starts at just over €35,000. This one is a Sport, which means you get the black alloys, the black roof, the black bumpers and sills and wing mirrors, and all looks good. It's about €41,000. So it's a lot, but it's a lot of car. It really is a lot of car, and it's going to hold its value, and it's going to do everything you wanted to do for your family, like really well. It's got a huge boot, good space, loads of safety, €190 road tax. It's got a lot going for it, but it is an expensive car to invest in. There is no two ways of looking at that. All of the RAV4s get Toyota Sense 2 Assist, which means they all get lane departure, radar guided cruise control, you get road sign assist. How that works is it sees the cameras or it sees the speed signs on the road, it'll adjust your speedo, and if you go above that, it flashes red on the dashboard. Just to remind you that you're actually gambling with your license. Other big selling point is compared to the old model, which you could get right up until I think the start of this year, but certainly 2018, because I know someone that has one and he loves it. This has a bigger boot. It's got 542 litres, and that is 41 litres bigger than the old model RAV4. So it's got a big boot, and I cannot lie. Let's jump in and go for a spin, see what it's like to be behind the wheel of. Have you hit subscribe yet? Please do. Thank you very much. Behind the wheel of the RAV4 is a very relaxing, able to manage traffic with ease way of getting around. Huge amount of the time you are in hybrid mode, so unless you're calling for a lot of power, you can barely hear it ticking along. Now, as soon as you do need to accelerate, pretty much instantly, the engine is there. And as you're braking like I am now, it's regenerating power back into the charge. And up to about 20-30 kilometers an hour, you can comfortably tip along in hybrid mode, and you won't be using fuel. Very little fuel anyway. There it is, whirring down again. Nice and quiet. So I'm just sat at a set of lights. It's in EV mode. It's telling me the average fuel consumption over the last week, or nearly a week, is 9.7 litres per 100 kilometers. Now, that's kind of a lot. It's still a petrol though, you have to remember that. And when Toyotas are not using the hybrid part of their engine, they can be thirsty. In this case, it's a 2.5 litre petrol. So if I was to tell you actually that worst case scenario, driving around city centre traffic, just under 10 litres per 100 kilometres in a 2.5 petrol, doesn't actually seem that bad. Yeah, it's not low, but for what it is, it's okay. Is it economical? Well, there are more economical options out there. Don't be, I suppose, confused into thinking that because it's a hybrid, it's going to save you a fortune on juice. It's not. But it's definitely a greener way of getting around, and for those who aren't exactly ready for electric for whatever reason, it is a good alternative. The car has paddles behind the steering wheel. Now, in a lot of automatic cars today, you know, that's what you get, and that's fine. The thing is, though, the way the delivery of a Toyota hybrid engine works is it's a CVT gearbox. So there isn't really all these different gears. Like, it says I can paddle up to 5 gears, but it doesn't change gears the way a conventional automatic gearbox does. So I don't see the point of that. Like, probably could have saved a few quid on the price of the car and not put paddles, or had to get someone to engineer how you put paddles behind the steering wheel, because they're kind of pointless. Once you go over 40 kilometers an hour, very hard to be in full-on hybrid mode. Anything below that, though, should be fairly achievable. So if you spend a lot of time in stop-start traffic, I think in a strange way your fuel economy could actually get better than late 9 litres per 100 kilometers. It's high up, it's clear, you feel king of the road, windscreen is nice and wide, glass around you is also good, rear window visibility excellent for such a big car. It's a nice square window or rectangular window that you can see out of, so it works very well in that way. Even though this is the sport model, it still doesn't feel overly harsh over bumps. It will be the firmer suspension in the lineup. Steering is quite light. Under acceleration, if you're in a turn, it feels like the wheels are just a little bit too light as you're going through the bend. Particularly, I suppose, at slightly lower speeds. You know, if you're pulling out of somewhere, that kind of situation. So you get all the Toyota safety sensing as standard. The frontal collision system has come on a few times for me this week, just pre-warning me that you should probably brake now. Works very well. Adaptive cruise control works very well. Lane departure works very well. Got a little SOS button up here in case you're in an accident, you need help. It's right beside the place for your sunglasses where you can hold them, which hopefully will get more use during your ownership of your RAV4 than the SOS button. I'd like to think so anyway. So Toyotas are self-charging hybrids. That is, you don't have to plug them in. They generate power to the battery by engine braking. That regenerates power, puts it back into the battery. That's how it works. There's no plugging in. I think it's in hybrid mode more than the Corolla, which you can watch a video of on this channel if you just click up there. The windows that are tinted, the front passenger ones aren't, but well, they are to a degree actually, but they're not as much as the rear ones for kids. And a lot of windows are very black to look at from the outside, and again to look at, you kind of sense the tint. You do sense the tint in this as well. It's kind of like a sepia colour on it. It's unusual. But the world looks like you've put an Instagram filter. It's over there. Yeah. It's not real, but people like to think it is. Is the RAV4 still king of this segment? I think it actually could be. Yeah. It's like a car you'd bring home to your mammy. You know? The car you might actually settle down with. That's what a RAV4 is. So thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Thank you to the over 2,000 of you who have, and maybe you have subscribed but you haven't hit the bell icon. If you are someone who is just subscribing, please also hit the bell icon, because then you'll get a notification every time I do a new video, and hopefully you'll watch them. So thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for watching. If you have a question about this RAV4 or any of the new model RAV4 that I might be able to answer for you, please do drop one in the comments below, and I'll talk to you soon.